Chosen one. Pause for a moment and open your heart. This Monday is not just a square on the calendar. It is a divine appointment. The air feels different, as if the usual noise of the world has been silenced so that a higher voice can reach you. You are not hearing this by chance. This is heaven's timing, and it is heaven's message to you. Your true self is being revealed. You have felt the tension inside for years. You never fit into the mold others tried to press on you. While they seemed comfortable living in cycles, something in you kept breaking away. Restless, longing for more. That restlessness was not weakness. It was the whisper of destiny. This Monday is the page-turning moment where what was hidden in you begins to come alive. Picture a diamond in the rough. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary stone, dirty, overlooked, rejected by the careless eye. Yet, under pressure, under fire, its brilliance emerges. That has been you. The pressure of trials was never sent to destroy you, but to bring forth the shine that could not appear any other way. Some of you know the weight of rejection. You've carried questions like, "Why was I left out?" or "Why do people misunderstand me?" But rejection was not abandonment. It was redirection. Like a shepherd guiding the flock away from dangerous ground, God has been steering you through what looked like loss, so you could arrive at this moment ready to step into identity. The ancient words recorded in Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 6, declare, "Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord of hosts." Do you feel the weight of those words? They are not history, they are prophecy over you right now. Your unveiling is not the result of human strength or cleverness. It is the Spirit of God breathing over your life, unlocking what He placed inside you before you were even born. Think of a sailboat that has been anchored too long in harbor. Repairs were made, storms were endured, and patience felt endless. But then, one day, the sails are lifted, and the wind rushes in. The boat that seemed forgotten suddenly moves with force. That is you today. The wind of the Spirit is catching your sails. This Monday is your moment to move forward. Chosen one. I must tell you plainly, the battles you faced were not random. The enemy saw glimpses of your crown before you even knew you had one. He tried to bury you in shame, delay, and fear. But here you stand, not broken, but rising. The unveiling is now. If these words resonate with your spirit, take a step of response. Press like as a declaration that you are stepping into the light of your true identity. Share this message so another chosen one, hidden and hurting, can awaken too. Write a comment with your own words of what you feel stirring inside. Let it be your prophetic act. And if you haven't subscribed yet, join this family so that you do not walk this journey alone. This is not the end, it is the beginning. This Monday is not ordinary. It is the day heaven marks in your story with a divine headline. This is exactly who you will become. And yet, even as you hear these words, a quiet battle may rise inside you. One voice says, "This is for you. Step into it." Another whispers, "Maybe not. Maybe this is just another passing moment." But let me remind you, hesitation has stolen enough from you already. Today is not the day for doubt. Today is the day to silence the lesser voices and lean into the voice that has been calling you all along. You are not standing at the edge of emptiness. You are standing at the edge of unveiling. Think of a curtain in a grand theater. For a long time, it hangs heavy, hiding the masterpiece behind it. Then, in one moment, the curtain is drawn back and the audience gasps. That is your life right now. The curtain is moving, and what will be seen is not weakness, not brokenness, but strength shaped through fire. I urge you, chosen one, don't just listen and walk away unchanged. Let this message settle into your bones. Let it become fuel in your spirit. Speak it out loud if you must. This Monday marks my becoming. Words have power, and heaven listens when you declare what God has already spoken over you. So rise with courage. Walk into this week not as the one who barely survived the storm, but as the one who carries authority because of it. The world is about to see what heaven has always known. You are chosen, and your true self is finally being revealed. You were never ordinary, and deep inside, you have always known it. The way you saw the world was different. The way you felt things more deeply than others. Sometimes it felt like a burden, sometimes like a curse. But in truth, it was the mark of being set apart. Ordinary people can easily ignore pain, drown it in distractions, or blend into the noise of the crowd. But you could not, because you were never made to. There is a pattern you have carried since childhood. You were misunderstood by peers, perhaps even by family. They wondered why you could not simply follow the flow. They saw your silence as weakness, when in reality it was depth. They judged your intensity as strangeness, when in truth it was sensitivity to the unseen. And when you tried to shrink yourself to fit in, something inside resisted, as if your very spirit knew it was rebelling against its true design. Think of an eagle raised among pigeons. At first, it tries to walk the same way, pecking at scraps on the ground. But no matter how hard it tries, something feels wrong. Then, one day, it spreads its wings and feels the rush of air beneath them. Suddenly, everything makes sense. That is you. You were never designed for the ground. You were designed for the heights. Your uniqueness is not an accident. The Book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 14 proclaims, I praise you, for I am fearfully made, wonderfully made by your hand. Your works are wonderful. This I know full well. The world may have made you question yourself, but heaven never did. From the beginning, you were woven with intentionality, every thread carrying meaning. Consider the story of one chosen one who walked a path of isolation. For years, he tried to succeed in the same way everyone around him did. He chased the same dreams, copied the same plans, and still nothing fit. Failure after failure left him exhausted, until one night he cried out, "Why can't I just be like everyone else?" In that silence, he heard God whisper, "Because you were never meant to." From that moment, his life shifted. He stopped striving to copy and began listening for his own instructions. Soon doors opened that he had not even been seeking. His uniqueness became his strength, and his difference became his destiny. You carry a light that many have noticed, even if they could not name it. That is why jealousy has followed you. That is why rejection came early. Light exposes, and not everyone is ready for exposure. People may have avoided you, not because you lacked value, but because your presence made them confront what they were unwilling to face in themselves. What felt like isolation was, in reality, Evidence of distinction. Imaginaire key. Ordinary keys are mass-produced, interchangeable, fitting many doors. But your life is not a mass-produced key. You are a master key, cut with precision, unique edges, designed for a single purpose. That is why you never fit into doors others opened. That is why opportunities that worked for others closed for you. You were not rejected, you were preserved. There is also a holy weight you carry. At times, it has made you weary. You felt emotions stronger than others, carried burdens others ignored, and noticed things others passed by. This weight was training. Just as a musician spends years practicing scales before stepping onto the stage, your soul has been rehearsed in sensitivity, in discernment, in resilience. The ordinary would collapse under it, but you endured because you were shaped for greater things. Chosen one. Let this truth sink deeply. Being different is not your shame. It is your signature. The world may call it strange, but heaven calls it chosen. You were never ordinary. And this Monday does not make you different. It simply reveals what was always there. And if you look back carefully, you will see the fingerprints of God across your journey. Every closed door was not cruelty, but protection. Every season of waiting was not wasted time, but sacred preparation. You were being refined for a role too great to be rushed. The world may have labeled you strange, difficult, or even broken. But those labels were lies, unable to capture the truth of who you are. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fade into the background. Your very existence disrupts the silence of mediocrity. So lift your head. Embrace the difference that has marked you since the beginning. This Monday does not create your identity. It simply uncovers the treasure that was hidden all along. You have carried burdens that others could not bear. That truth explains much of your story. From an early age, life placed weights on your shoulders that would have crushed another. Family conflicts, disappointments, losses that no one knew you, faced you, bore them quietly, with little thanks and no applause. Yet those hidden battles were not evidence of weakness, they were signs of divine trust. Heaven only allows the strong to be tested in such a way. It is like the blacksmith's forge. Ordinary metal bends under little heat, but steel must be placed in fire, hotter than most can withstand. Blow after blow, strike after strike. It is hammered, shaped, and refined. The hammer did not come to destroy it, but to form it into a weapon strong enough to defend and endure. You, chosen one, are that steel. Every strike of hardship has only proven your resilience. The ancient words in James, chapter 1, verse 3 remind us, the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and that perseverance is visible in you. While others quit under pressure, you rose from the ashes. While others were paralyzed by pain, you kept walking, step by step. Even when your legs trembled, there is a story of one who carried unbearable weight. For years, she felt like a pillar holding up everyone else's world. Yet no one saw her own tears. In the quiet of her room, she wondered if anyone noticed the cracks forming in her heart. But over time, she discovered something unexpected. Those heavy loads were building a foundation inside her. She became strong, not only for herself, but for generations after her. What looked like a curse became her crown. You too have lived through seasons that broke others. The betrayals that left scars on your soul. The nights you sat alone, staring at the ceiling. The times when your prayers seemed unanswered. Those moments were not wasted. They have been sculpting a vessel deep enough to carry glory. Imagine a clay jar being pressed, stretched, and placed in the fire. The process is uncomfortable, but the result is a vessel that can hold living water. That is what your pain has done. It has carved space in you for compassion, wisdom, and authority. Now I invite you to pause and mark this moment. Write 3 words in the comments. I endured this. Why? Because your agreement matters. By putting it in writing, you are testifying to heaven and to yourself that the weight did not win, that the fire did not break you, and that the hammer only shaped you. Others will read your words and realize they too have survived. And together, your testimonies will become a chorus of resilience. Chosen one, do not despise the heavy seasons. They were never meant to define you as broken, but to reveal you as unshakable. This Monday is unveiling your true self. And part of that unveiling is this: you are not a victim of your burdens. You are the carrier of strength birthed through them. And understand this: the weight you carried was never random. It was evidence that you were trusted with assignments larger than yourself. God never wastes a burden. What you bore in silence was shaping you for influence in places you have not yet stepped into. Every sleepless night and every tear shed became a seed. Seeds look small and insignificant, but once buried, they multiply. The pain you endured has already planted strength, wisdom, and empathy that will grow far beyond your own life. Nothing was wasted, not even the moments you thought were pointless. Many people wonder why their paths seem easier than yours. But ease does not equal destiny. Heavy responsibility is given to those with unshakable potential. Your difficulties were not signs of abandonment. They were confirmations of capacity. You carried much because you were built to carry much. The testing of your faith has also unlocked authority. You speak differently now. Your words have weight because they were born in fire. Others talk about hope, but you embody it. Others talk about perseverance, but you have lived it. That authority cannot be taught in classrooms. It is forged only in the crucible of trials. This is why your story will carry power for others. The same struggles that tried to bury you will become the testimonies that set people free. When you say, "I endured this," others will find courage to endure too. Your scars are not shame, they are proof. So walk forward with confidence. You are no longer defined by the heaviness of yesterday. You are stepping into the unveiling of today. The burdens did not break you, they birthed in you a strength that announces to the world, you were chosen for this. The unseen war over your life explains why the journey has felt so intense. While others seem to glide through their days with little resistance, you often felt as though every step forward triggered invisible opposition. This is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is the reality of being chosen. The battle around you has been fierce because the assignment within you is weighty. There are forces that tremble at the thought of you discovering who you are. That is why attacks came early, even in childhood. Words spoken against you. Circumstances designed to crush your spirit. Patterns that tried to repeat across your family line. None of it was random. Darkness fights hardest against those who carry light, capable of destroying it. And make no mistake, you carry that light. Think of a chessboard. The most powerful pieces are always targeted first. Pawns can move quietly without much attention, but the queen's movement determines the game. In the same way, your life drew attention from spiritual opposition because of the role you were destined to play. You are not a pawn. You were always a key piece on the board, and the enemy has known it from the beginning. The prophet Daniel faced such battles long before his destiny was fully revealed. His very commitment to prayer stirred resistance in unseen realms. An angel told him that his answer was delayed because spiritual forces were fighting against it. If Daniel, a man marked by God, encountered invisible warfare, should it surprise you that the same has unfolded in your life? The unseen war is not meant to terrify you, but to awaken you. Once you understand the battle, the confusion fades. You realize that the hardships, the strange resistance, the doors that slammed shut, were not random accidents, but coordinated attempts to derail destiny. Yet, every attempt failed. Because you are still here. The very fact that you are reading these words proves that darkness did not win. There is a story of a young man who always faced unusual obstacles. Every time an opportunity came near, something collapsed, relationships broke, finance drained, health faltered. For years, he thought he was cursed, but in time, he realized he was being fought because of what he carried. When he finally surrendered fully to God's path, the resistance did not vanish, but he began to see victories even in the middle of conflict. He learned that the unseen war was confirmation of his assignment, not the cancellation of it. Your story mirrors this. You have known days where opposition felt overwhelming, where everything seemed to push against you. But every battle has been sharpening your discernment. You have learned to recognize when peace is present and when it is being stolen. You have developed eyes that see patterns, ears that catch, whispers others overlook. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is a weapon. Picture a lighthouse standing on a rocky shore. The waves crash violently. Storms scream against it. But the lighthouse does not move. Instead, it shines brighter, guiding ships through danger. That is your role in the unseen war. The storms may rage, but your presence becomes direction for others. The darker the night, the brighter your light must shine. The ancient words in Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12 declare, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This explains your story. The struggle was never truly with people, with jobs, with circumstances. It was with forces that recognized what you carry. Do not misinterpret the battle. The enemy has whispered that you are unlucky, cursed, or unworthy. None of this is true. The intensity of the war is evidence of your value. Soldiers are not sent to guard empty fields, they are stationed around treasure. The heavier the battle, the greater the treasure within you. And know this, the unseen war is not endless. Every conflict has an expiration date. Every scheme eventually collapses under the weight of truth. You are not destined to live under warfare forever. You are destined to walk in victory through it. Your endurance is already proof that you are more resilient than the opposition that tried to destroy you. Chosen one. When you look back, see the battles for what they were, confirmation of calling. They have not defined you by defeat, they have prepared you for triumph. The unseen war has raged, but you stand unbroken, carrying the very light it sought to extinguish. Your light terrifies darkness. That is why you have always felt pressure that others did not. The moment you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. People may not always say it, but they sense it. You carry something unseen, yet undeniable. Some are drawn to you, while others react against you without reason. It is not about personality or preference. It is about the light that cannot be hidden. Think of a candle lit in a dark cave. No matter how small the flame, it breaks the rule of darkness. Shadows must flee when light appears. That is what your life represents. Even when you feel weak, even when your flame seems small, the darkness cannot win. The very fact that you stand, that you endure, that you choose hope, sends ripples through the unseen world. There is power in your presence. You may not see it in yourself, but others feel it. When you speak words of kindness, they pierce through despair. When you walk faithfully, even in hard times, it challenges others to keep going. You are not ordinary, and the enemy knows it. That is why your light has been resisted so strongly, because it is a threat to the shadows. The Apostle John recorded the words, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." That truth echoes over you. You are not fighting for light. You already are light. Every day you rise. You are declaring to darkness that its time is limited. Now, I want to pause and speak plainly. This space, where these words find you, is like a lighthouse. It stands not because of one person's effort, but because many choose to keep the flame burning. To press like is to add oil to the lamp. Each drop keeps the fire steady in the night. To share is to open the window of your house, letting the light spill out, so travelers lost in the dark can see a way home. To subscribe is to anchor yourself to this lighthouse, so the beam can guide you again when the storms rise. And if your heart feels moved, there is another way to stand with this light. Imagine a vineyard planted on a hillside. The keeper tends it with care, but it is the hands of many who water, prune, and protect it that allow it to flourish. A donation is like watering the vineyard, not demanded, not forced, but a free offering that ensures the vines continue to bear fruit for those who are hungry and thirsty. Some water with a small cup, some with a whole jar, but all contribute to the harvest. This is never obligation. It is invitation. You are not less if you choose not to give. But if your spirit whispers, "I want to help keep this vineyard alive," then let your gift be poured out with joy. Chosen one, your light is already breaking chains in unseen places. You may not realize how powerful your presence is, but darkness does. And every choice you make to nurture that light through your faith, your resilience, your support becomes another declaration that the shadows cannot win. This Monday, as you step more fully into who you are, remember, you are a flame that cannot be extinguished. Every storm you've survived has only proven that truth. You shine, not because you try, but because it is who you are, and no darkness has the power to overcome you. And yet, even with all this light, you may still wrestle with doubt. It is natural to wonder if your flame is enough, if your small steps really matter. But hear this, the smallest candle still pushes back the deepest night. Your impact is greater than you imagine, even when you cannot see it. Think about ripples on water. A single stone dropped into a lake creates circles that move far beyond where the eye first sees. In the same way, your choices. The moments you choose, love over anger, faith over fear, hope over despair, send ripples into lives you may never meet. The unseen world notices, and heaven records it. So do not measure your worth by applause or recognition. Your value is not determined by how loud the crowd cheers, but by the light you carry into hidden places. Many lives have already been touched because you refused to quit, because you chose to keep shining when quitting would have been easier. Let this be your confidence. Storms may rage, shadows might press, but your light was not given to be swallowed. It was given to shine. This Monday is not only about who you are becoming, it is also about the people who will find their way because of your light. This is the moment where old chains begin to break. For years, cycles have repeated in your life, patterns of delay, disappointment, or sudden collapse right when you were about to move forward. These were not coincidences. They were chains, forged from generations past, woven from battles you didn't start but somehow had to fight. Yet this Monday carries a different sound in the spirit. It is the sound of iron snapping, of locks breaking, of doors swinging open. Think of a prisoner who has lived in a dark cell so long that the chains feel like part of their body. When freedom comes, at first it feels unreal. The weight has been there so long that the absence of it feels strange. That is why this season may feel uncomfortable, because you are being released from what you thought was normal. But it was never normal. It was never who you truly were. The ancient words in Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17 remind us, "No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper." Weapons were formed. Yes, they were aimed. They were launched. They struck at you, but none of them succeeded in destroying you. They tried to chain you, but you are still here. And today, those chains are losing their grip. I recall the story of a woman who struggled with cycles of almost success every time she neared breakthrough. Something went wrong. A relationship crumbled. Finances collapsed, or opportunities vanished. For years she thought she was cursed. But as she began to pray differently, declaring that she was not bound by her family's failures, speaking life over her future, the cycles began to crack. She did not just see change in her own life. Her children walked in freedom she never had. Her breaking became their beginning. You too are stepping into that kind of moment. What stopped those before you will not stop you. The addictions, the fears, the silent patterns of failure, they lose authority today. Like a glass ceiling shattering above your head, the invisible barriers that kept you from rising are breaking apart. Imagine standing at the threshold of a house. Behind you are rooms filled with shadows and closed doors. Before you is a door swinging wide, sunlight flooding through. You hear the hinges groan as they give way. That is the sound of chains breaking. And as you step across, you leave behind what once held you captive. But here is the truth. Freedom requires agreement. Chains can be broken, but you must walk out of the cell. Many people stay near the broken shackles, still living as if they are bound. That will not be your story. Today, you step forward. Today, you claim what has always been yours. Now, I invite you into a prophetic act. Write the number 444 inches, the comments. Why 444? Because it is a symbol of open doors, divine alignment, and angelic protection. When you type it, you are not just writing digits, you are declaring, I walk out of old chains and into divine order. I align with heaven's timing. I embrace my freedom. Your words matter. They create atmosphere. Let this simple act be your marker of stepping into what is new. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. Chains broken in the unseen will manifest in the seen. The job opportunity that seemed impossible, the relationship that seemed dead, the health that seemed beyond repair. Watch for signs of change. Freedom in the spirit always ripples into freedom in the natural. And when doubt tries to creep back in, remember this image, a bird whose cage door has been left open. For a while, the bird may hop around inside, afraid to fly, but the open sky is calling. Eventually, its wings spread, and it soars. That is you. The cage is behind you. The sky is before you. The choice is yours. So walk in confidence. Old cycles are broken. Old chains have no claim on you. This Monday is the day the shackles fell, and the day you began to see yourself free. And when you write 444, you are not simply typing numbers. You are engaging in a prophetic declaration. The repetition of the number 4 symbolizes stability, foundation, and divine alignment. Just as a table with 4 legs stands firm, your life is now being set on a new, unshakable foundation. The old instability is gone. A new order is being established. It also carries the image of open doors. 1-4 may look like a corner or a doorway, but 3 together form a series of openings, reminders that multiple doors are being unlocked for you at once. By declaring 444, you are saying, every locked path is opening. I choose to walk through. There comes a moment when God holds up a mirror, not the kind made of glass, but the mirror of His Word, His Spirit, and His truth. That mirror does not simply show your face, it shows your identity. It reveals not just who you think you are, but who you were always meant to be. This Monday carries that very mirror before you. And as you look, layers of false identity begin to peel away. For too long, you have seen yourself through the distorted reflections of others' opinions. People labeled you too quiet, too intense, too broken, too different. They looked at fragments of your story and thought they knew the whole picture. But their reflections were cracked mirrors, unable to capture the fullness of your design. What you are stepping into now is the clarity of God's perspective, the only true reflection that matters. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at marble. At first, the block looks ordinary, lifeless, heavy, but with each strike, fragments fall, revealing shape, movement, and beauty. The marble itself never changed. In essence, it always contained the statue within. The sculptor simply removed what did not belong. That is what the mirror of identity is doing for you. Every false word spoken over you, every lie you believed about yourself, is being chipped away so that your true form can emerge. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 18, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." This is not only about seeing God, it is about realizing that as you see Him, you see yourself reflected in Him. His glory reveals your true identity. Consider the story of a young man who always felt invisible. Teachers overlooked him, Friends dismissed him, and even his own family underestimated him. He grew up believing he was insignificant, but one day, during a moment of prayer, he sensed God saying, "I have called you by name, you are mine." Those words became a mirror. For the first time, he saw himself not as overlooked, but as chosen. That revelation changed everything. His confidence grew, his decisions shifted, and doors opened that once seemed locked. You too are stepping into that kind of moment. As you gaze into the mirror of truth, you will no longer define yourself by wounds or weaknesses. Instead, you will recognize that those very wounds are evidence of survival. And that survival is evidence of calling. You are not simply someone who endured, you are someone who is being transformed. Picture a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. The process looks painful, even messy. The creature struggles, pushing against the shell that once kept it safe. Yet without the struggle, its wings would never grow strong enough to fly. When it breaks free, its reflection is entirely different, no longer a crawling caterpillar, but a soaring butterfly. That is the mirror moment you are in right now. The mirror of identity also reveals responsibility. When you see who you truly are, you cannot remain the same. Just as a prince raised in exile must eventually claim his throne, you are called to step into the authority of your true self. The revelation is not for pride, but for purpose. It reminds you that you were created for more than survival. You were created for influence, for guidance, for carrying light into places that desperately need it. Do not be afraid of what the mirror shows. Sometimes it reflects strength you did not know you had, and sometimes it reveals areas still being healed. Both are part of the truth. To see yourself clearly is to step into transformation. The Spirit does not show you identity to shame you, but to shape you. So today, as the mirror of heaven is lifted before you, stand with courage. See yourself, not through the broken reflections of the past, but through the glory that is unfolding in the present. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering who you were always meant to be. And when you finally see yourself in that mirror, it will not feel like discovering a stranger. It will feel like coming home. Every scar, every delay, every season of waiting will suddenly make sense. Because they were never random, they were all chiseling away at the marble so the true design could shine. Let this be your anchor. The reflection you see now is not temporary. It is eternal. What God reveals cannot be erased by human opinion or undone by circumstances. The mirror of heaven shows you not just who you are today, but who you are becoming tomorrow. And that image will only grow brighter. Rejection has followed you like a shadow, hasn't it? The jobs that slipped away, the friendships that ended without reason, the doors that slammed shut, just as you were about to step through. Each of these left marks on your heart. At times, reaction felt like abandonment. It whispered lies. You are not enough. You are not wanted. You will never belong. But the truth is far greater. Rejection was never the final word over your life. It was divine protection in disguise. Imagine a shepherd leading his flock along a mountain path. On one side, the grass looks green and inviting. On the other, the path looks narrow and difficult. The sheep may try to wander toward what looks appealing, but the shepherd blocks their way. To the sheep, it feels like rejection, like being denied something good. Yet what they cannot see is the cliff hidden behind the grass. What looked like opportunity was actually danger. In the same way, the doors that closed on you were not meant to harm you. They were keeping you from cliffs you could not see. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. These words are not abstract, they are personal. Ache reaction. Each disappointment was steering you closer to those very plans. Consider the story of a man who spent years chasing a career he believed would bring him success. Each time he neared promotion, something fell apart. Frustration grew until he felt worthless. But years later, when he finally stepped into a different path, the one aligned with his natural gifts, he realized that every closed door had saved him from a life that would have drained his spirit. What once felt like rejection revealed itself as redirection. Your own story may hold similar chapters. You thought you lost love, but in truth, you were being spared from a bond that would have broken you. You thought you failed in a job, but heaven knew that remaining there would have dimmed your light. You thought you were excluded, but you were actually being preserved for a place where your presence is not just accepted, but celebrated. Think of a gardener pruning a vine. To the untrained eye, it looks cruel. The branches are cut back. Green leaves fall away. But the gardener knows that pruning is the only way to bring more fruit. If the vine is left unpruned, it will grow wild, bearing little. The cutting is not rejection, it is preparation. Your rejections have been pruning moments, shaping you to bear more than you ever imagined. Rejection also carved resilience into you. Every no taught you that your worth does not rise or fall with others' opinions. Every betrayal reminded you that your foundation must be deeper than human approval. Slowly, painfully, you learn to anchor yourself not in applause, but in truth. And now, because of those lessons, you stand stronger than you once believed possible. There is a beauty in rejection that can only be seen in hindsight, like a river redirected around a rock. Your life has flowed into unexpected places. At first, the diversion felt unfair, but as time passed, the new path revealed waterfalls and fertile banks you never would have found otherwise. That is what God has been doing for you, turning every denied path into a detour toward abundance. So, when you think back on the moments that hurt the most, shift your perspective. They were not wasted years, not proof of failure. They were shields raised on your behalf, steering you away from traps, guiding you to greater things. Rejection was not a curse, it was protection. It was the hand of heaven writing a better story than the one you thought you wanted. Chosen one. Carry this truth forward. You have never truly been abandoned. The rejections of the past are proof of God's attention, not His absence. Every closed door was a whisper of love saying, "Not here, not this. Something greater awaits." And perhaps now, as you look back, you can begin to see the pattern more clearly. The very places where you felt denied were the same places where unseen danger lurked. What looked like loss was actually preservation. What felt like an end was really a hidden beginning. Let this settle into your spirit. Rejection was not a verdict against you. It was a rescue for you. Every no was a shield. Every closed door, a redirection. Every disappointment, a hand steering you closer to the place where you truly belong. There are moments in every chosen life when the path narrows to a single choice. you find yourself at a crossroads, where one road is wide, comfortable, and filled with familiar voices, and the other is narrow, uncertain, yet strangely radiant. This is where obedience is tested, not the kind of obedience that comes when things are easy, but the kind that costs you something, the kind that asks for trust when your understanding runs out. Think of Abraham, called to leave his homeland without even knowing where he was going. His neighbors must have thought him foolish, walking away from stability into the unknown. Yet obedience positioned him for promise. In the same way, the crossroads before you are not random, they are sacred. Your response here shapes your tomorrow. The Word of God declares in Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19, I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, that you and your children may live. This is the essence of the crossroads. Two ways stretch out, one toward compromise and comfort, the other toward calling and covenant. And heaven leans close, whispering, choose life. There is a story of a young woman who stood at such a decision. She had two job offers, one lucrative but soul-crushing, the other less glamorous but aligned with her purpose. She wrestled in prayer until she realized that the wide path of wealth would leave her empty, while the narrow path of calling would bring true fulfillment. She chose the latter. Years later, she looked back with gratitude, for that single act of obedience reshaped her destiny and opened doors she never imagined. Your own life carries such moments. Maybe it is about relationships, maybe career, maybe a decision to release what has been holding you. Whatever it is, the tension you feel is not a mistake. It is the weight of eternity pressing into your present. The decision you make here will echo far beyond this week. Picture a traveler standing at a fork in the forest. One path looks well worn, with footprints leading away. The other is narrow, barely marked. Yet you notice sunlight breaking through the trees along it. Which will you choose? The familiar footprints, or the lighted way? This is the metaphor of your crossroads. Now, I invite you to respond in a simple but powerful way. Write, I choose him, in the comments. Why? Because your words are not just text on a screen, they are an agreement with heaven. By typing those 3 words, you declare that your choice is not driven by fear, by pressure, or by comfort, but by surrender. You are saying, I align with God's way, even if it costs me. Amazing. Understand this. Obedience is not always the easiest road, but it is always the most rewarding. Each act of surrender reshapes your destiny. Each step of trust opens doors you could not open on your own. And while the narrow path may feel lonely at first, you will discover it is filled with presence, provision, and peace that cannot be bought. Chosen one, do not despise the weight of this moment. The crossroads are not a trap, but an invitation. Heaven is watching, cheering, urging you towards life. And as you choose obedience, the future you feared will transform into the future you were designed for. When you declare, I choose him, you are not merely aligning with a passing emotion. You are choosing a direction that rewrites the script of your life. This choice becomes a spiritual compass, pointing you away from cycles of compromise and toward the landscapes of destiny. It may feel small now, but seeds of obedience always grow into harvests of transformation. Think of Israel standing before the Red Sea. The easy choice would have been to surrender back to Egypt, to the life they knew. Though it meant bondage, the harder choice was to step forward into the impossible. Yet, as they moved in obedience, waters parted. Your choice carries the same principle when you step into God's way. Seas that look impassable begin to make room for you. This is why crossroads are holy. They are not just about today, but about legacy. Your children, your family, and even those who watch you from afar will benefit from the obedience you choose now. One yes can ripple through generations, and likewise, one compromise can chain generations to cycles they were never meant to endure. So pause and see this clearly. Your crossroads is not punishment, it is invitation. It is heaven trusting you with a decision that carries eternal weight. And as you respond with surrender, you step not only into your own freedom, but into a ripple of blessing that will flow long after this Monday is gone. There is a crown prepared for you, not a crown of gold that tarnishes, not a crown of fame that fades, but a crown of endurance, glory, and eternal honor. This crown is not given to everyone. It is reserved for those who do not quit, for those who walk through fire yet still keep their faith alive. You are among them. Think of a marathon runner. The race is long. The body grows weary. The temptation to stop screams loudly, but the runner pushes forward, one step at a time, until the finish line appears. At the end, the crown or the medal is not about speed, but about endurance. That is what heaven sees in you. You may not have run the smoothest race, but you have not given up. The Apostle Paul once wrote about this crown, reminding believers that athletes compete for a prize that does not last, but we run for one that is eternal. Your crown is incorruptible. It does not gather dust. It cannot be stolen. And every step you take in faith, every act of obedience, every tear that fell yet did not drown your hope. Each of these is a jewel being set in your crown. Now pause for a moment and let this image sink in. Imagine a craftsman working late into the night, carefully placing gem after gem into a royal crown. Each jewel represents a season of your perseverance. One for the nights you prayed through tears. One for the days you carried burdens quietly. One for the seasons where you refused to let bitterness consume you. Each gem is proof that your endurance has not gone unnoticed. The words of the Apostle Peter in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 4, declare, "And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory, a crown that will never fade, an unfading prize of honor, prepared for you forever." This crown is not fragile, not temporary. It carries eternity within it, a glory untouched by rust, time, or decay. And here, I want to speak about something practical. This space, where you are reminded of your crown, is like a garden. Gardens flourish only when many hands tend them. When you press like, it is as if you water the soil, keeping the flowers alive. When you share, it is like planting seeds in another field, letting beauty bloom where it was barren. When you subscribe, you are like a gardener who returns often, making sure the roots grow deep. And for those who feel stirred, there is another way to nurture this garden. A donation is like bringing fertilizer, not forced, not demanded, but freely offered so that the soil produces even richer fruit. Some bring a handful, others a basket. But each offering makes the garden stronger, more fruitful, more able to nourish those who are starving for encouragement. Let it be clear, this is never about pressure. No one is standing over you demanding. It is an invitation, a way to join the work of tending the garden together, just as in the early days of the church. Some brought bread, some oil, some coins. All gifts were different, yet all gifts were beautiful. What mattered was the spirit of love behind them. Think of a lantern carried in the night. One person can keep a single flame alive. But when others bring oil, the light grows brighter, guiding many through the darkness. That is what happens when you choose to support. Your light joins with others, making sure the flame never dies out. And do not forget, you are not just sustaining words. You are sustaining testimonies. Every act of generosity ensures that someone who feels hopeless can stumble upon light at the exact moment they need it most. Your like, your share, your subscription, your donation, all of these are not transactions, but ripples of hope. Now, return to the crown. Picture yourself placing it on your head, not with pride, but with gratitude. It is not heavy with jewels of wealth, but with jewels of endurance. Every choice to keep believing, every moment you chose light over darkness, every season you refused to give up. These are what make the crown shine. So, walk forward with confidence. You are not forgotten. You are not running in vain. You are wearing a crown that proves you endured. And you are stepping into days where that endurance will bear fruit. And as you honor that truth, remember, your crown is secure, and no power of darkness can take it from you. You were chosen for more than your own survival. You were chosen for a generational shift. The story of your life is not just about you, it is about breaking patterns that have bound those before you and establishing new paths for those who will come after you. This is why the weight on your shoulders has felt heavier. You are carrying not only your own destiny, but also the redemption of entire bloodlines. Look back for a moment at your family history. Perhaps you have seen cycles repeating: poverty, broken relationships, anger, addiction, fear. It may have seemed like, no matter how much effort was made, these patterns always found a way to reappear. But here you stand, the interruption in the cycle. You are the one God has set apart to say, "It stops with me." Imagine a relay race where the baton has been passed from runner to runner. Some dropped it, some slowed down, some ran in circles. But now it has been placed in your hand. You feel its weight, heavier than you expected. But this is not by accident. You are running not only for yourself, but for those who came before you and those who will come after you. And unlike those who stumbled, you will carry the baton faithfully to the finish. The prophet Hosea spoke of this kind of restoration, as recorded in chapter 2, verse 15. "There I will give her back her vineyards, and will make the valley of Achor a door of hope. There she will respond, as in the days of her youth, as in the days she came up out of Egypt." This is what your life represents, a door of hope, opening where there used to be valleys of trouble. There is a story of a man who grew up in a family filled with bitterness and silence. Conversations ended in arguments. Love was scarce, and hope seemed impossible. He could have repeated the same story with his own children, but he chose differently. He forgave where no apology was given. He prayed when no one else did. He chose kindness when anger would have been easier, Over time, his family began to heal. His children grew up in an atmosphere that looked nothing like the one he knew as a child. He became the hinge of a generational shift. You too are standing as that hinge. Your choices are not small, they are rewriting history. When you choose faith over fear, you are not just changing your life, you are planting a seed for your children and for others who will walk in your footsteps. When you choose integrity over compromise, you are not only protecting your name, but also building a foundation for those who carry it after you. Think of a great oak tree. For generations, the soil was dry, and nothing grew. Then, one seed took root. At first it seemed fragile, but over time, it grew strong, spreading branches wide, offering shade and fruit to many. That oak is you. You are becoming the rooted one, the one who breaks through barren soil so that generations after you can flourish. The unseen war you have endured, the rejection you have carried, the chains that broke off your life, all of these were not random trials. They were preparations for this role. You have been shaped to be a pioneer, one who steps into territory others could not enter. Where your family saw walls, you will see gates. Where they saw endings, you will see beginnings. And let it be clear, this shift is not only for your bloodline, it is also for those connected to you by destiny, friends, communities, even strangers who will encounter your life. They will sense something different in you, a stability they never experienced before, and they will find shelter in the legacy you are building. Chosen one. This is why you cannot give up. The baton in your hand carries too much weight. The oak in your roots must stand. The shift you are carrying must be born. Others are depending on it, even if they do not know it yet. So walk boldly. You are not just surviving, you are shifting. You are not just enduring, you are rewriting. This Monday is not only about your unveiling, it is about the unveiling of an entire generation through you. And when you feel the weight pressing heavily on your shoulders, remember, it is the proof that you are carrying something bigger than yourself. The mantle of generational shift is never light, but it is always worth it. Those who come after you will walk on ground you fought for. They will taste freedom you prayed for. Your endurance today becomes their inheritance tomorrow. There is a sacred moment in every journey when a mantle is passed. It does not always come with fanfare or applause. Sometimes it happens quietly, in the secret place of your spirit. When God lays something heavy yet holy on your shoulders, that is what this Monday represents, a mantle transfer. A mantle is more than a covering. It is a sign of authority, responsibility, and divine empowerment. Elijah placed his mantle on Elisha, and in that act, a new season was born. What had rested on one life now flowed into another. The same is true for you. What once felt distant is now resting on you. You may not feel ready, but heaven has measured your capacity and decided you are prepared. Think of a torch passed in a relay. The runner receives it not because they are the fastest or the most flawless, but because it is their time to run their stretch of the race. You are now that runner. The fire has been placed in your hands. You are responsible not only to carry it, but to guard it, to protect its flame against the winds that would try to snuff it out. The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 5, speaks this truth. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. These words are not just ancient promises, they are alive for you. The same God who empowered leaders of old is the same God, breathing authority into you now. A mantle is heavy, yes, but it is also liberating. Heavy because it requires courage. Liberating because it confirms you are no longer who you used to be. You are stepping into a higher place of responsibility, of vision, of calling. You are becoming one who carries not only your own story, but also the stories of others who will follow. There is a story of a young man who felt unworthy to lead. When others looked to him for answers, he doubted his ability. But then came a moment when his mentor laid hands on him and declared, "The mantle is yours." From that day, he rose with confidence he never knew before. His circumstances did not change instantly, but his posture did. He walked taller, spoke clearer, and acted bolder because he knew heaven had chosen him. This is your moment to shift postures. The mantle you are receiving today means you are no longer walking as a follower, only you are walking as a leader, a guide, a carrier of light. Others may still see you as ordinary, but heaven recognizes the weight you now hold. Picture a royal robe placed over someone's shoulders. At first, it feels too large, too heavy, too much. But as time passes, the one wearing it grows into it. Their stature increases. Their steps become surer. And soon the robe fits perfectly. That is the journey of your mantle. It may feel oversized now, but you will grow into it. And because this is a divine transfer, I invite you to seal it with a prophetic act. Type the number 555 inches, the comments. Why 555? Because it represents grace multiplied, divine favor poured out in fullness, and the triple confirmation that heaven's hand is on your life. 1-5 means grace. 2 5s mean abundance of grace. 3 5s mean you are walking in a flood of undeserved yet undeniable empowerment. By writing 555, you are declaring, I receive this mantle. I accept the weight and the honor. I step into the authority prepared for me. It is not about superstition. It is about alignment, words and actions. Even as simple as this, become signposts in your journey. Remember this, mantles are never given for comfort. They are given for impact. To wear it means you will be stretched, but it also means you will be sustained. What you could not do in your own strength, you will now do under heaven's anointing. What seemed impossible yesterday will begin to unfold tomorrow. So, walk with assurance. The mantle has been placed on you. It does not slip. It does not fade. It does not leave. From this Monday forward, you carry authority not just for yourself, but for generations. And the world will see the difference, not because you shouted louder, but because the mantle speaks louder than words. And when you feel its weight, do not shrink back. The mantle is not proof of your weakness, but of God's confidence in you. If He placed it on your shoulders, it means He already measured you and found you capable. This is why the heaviness you sense is holy. It is a reminder that heaven trusts you with responsibility that matters. You are not carrying it alone. The same Spirit that placed it on you will empower you to walk in it fully. Visions of your future self are beginning to unfold. They come like flashes of light in a dark corridor brief. Radiant glimpses that remind you there is more ahead than you have yet touched. You may not always understand them, but they stir something deep inside, a sense of destiny pulling you forward. A whisper that says, This is who you are becoming. Lo, at times, these visions come through dreams, images so vivid they linger long after you wake. Sometimes they appear in quiet moments, when a sudden picture of yourself leading, healing, or creating rises uninvited in your mind. Other times, they arrive through words spoken by others who see more in you than you see in yourself. All of these glimpses are pieces of a mosaic, small shards of color that will one day form a complete picture. Think of a painter at work on a canvas. In the beginning, the brush strokes look scattered, chaotic, and unclear. Anyone walking by might dismiss it as meaningless, but the artist knows what the final picture will be. Each stroke, each layer, is intentional. Your visions of the future are like those strokes. They may not look like much yet, but they are forming something beautiful, purposeful, and precise. The Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, gives this instruction. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. That ancient word is a timeless truth. Visions are not meant to be fleeting thoughts. They are meant to be recorded, remembered, and pursued. When you take what you have seen in glimpses and write it down, you anchor it to reality. It becomes more than imagination. It becomes a map guiding your steps. There is a story of a woman who carried visions of helping others, though her circumstances suggested the opposite. She worked long hours at a job that drained her, with little time or resources to pursue what she saw in her heart. Yet she wrote the visions down, pages filled with ideas, sketches, prayers. Years later, when doors finally opened, she found those old notebooks waiting. They became blueprints, reminding her of what she had always carried. Today, she lives what once felt impossible. Your future self may look stronger, freer, bolder than you feel today. That is not contradiction, it is prophecy. The vision is meant to stretch you beyond what you think is possible. Just as a seed cannot imagine the tree it will become, you cannot fully imagine the magnitude of who you are becoming. Yet the vision reveals enough to keep you moving forward. Picture yourself as a torchbearer in a dark procession. For years, you walked with an unlit torch, feeling the weight but seeing no flame. Now, sparks have touched the wick, and fire is catching. In glimpses, you see yourself running ahead, lifting the torch high, guiding others through the night. That image is not fantasy, it is destiny calling. Visions also come as reminders that you are not limited by where you started. Your beginnings do not dictate your endings. What once defined your family line, your environment, or your past mistakes cannot define your future self. The vision reveals an upgraded version of you, shaped by grace, strengthened by trials, and illuminated by divine purpose. At first, the gap between who you are and who you see in your visions may feel overwhelming, but do not let that gap discourage you. It exists to draw you forward, to inspire your growth, to keep you leaning into transformation. The butterfly does not despise its caterpillar days, but neither does it cling to them. It moves toward its wings. So when visions come, do not dismiss them. Record them. Reflect on them. Let them be the stars that guide you through the night. Even if you stumble, even if delays come, the vision will outlast the obstacles. It will wait for you, urging you to rise again. Chosen one, Your future self is not a stranger waiting far away. It is already stirring inside you, stretching, unfolding, breaking through. The visions you see are invitations. Accept them, let them guide you, and watch as the fragments form the masterpiece of who you are destined to become. And when doubt whispers that the vision is too grand, remember, it was never meant to be small. The glimpses you see are not exaggerations but previews. They are proof that heaven has already written your ending, and it is greater, brighter, and fuller than you ever dared to dream. The fire of refinement is not something most people welcome, yet it is one of the greatest gifts given to the chosen. Fire consumes what is temporary and fragile, but it purifies what is eternal and strong. That is why your trials have felt so relentless. They were never meant to destroy you, but to refine you into a vessel capable of carrying greater glory. Think of a silversmith at work. Raw silver is filled with impurities, dull and unremarkable at first glance. The silversmith places it in the furnace, not once, but repeatedly, each time skimming away what does not belong. How does he know the silver is ready when he can see his reflection in it? In the same way, God has allowed you to pass through fire so that his reflection may shine through your life. The book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, speaks this truth. I will put this third into the fire, and refine them as one refines silver, and test them as gold is tested. They will call upon my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people, and they will say, the Lord is my God. These words explain your story. The fire has been painful, but it has also been purposeful. Consider the seasons when everything you relied on was stripped away. Friendships ended. Opportunities crumbled. Comfort vanished. You felt exposed, vulnerable, even abandoned. But in those seasons, what truly mattered rose to the surface. Your resilience, your faith, your ability to endure. Everything else that burned away was never meant to stay. There is a story of a young woman who endured financial collapse, betrayal, and illness all in the same year. At first, she thought the fire would consume her, but as she leaned into prayer, she discovered strength she never knew she had. Out of the ashes came wisdom, compassion, and authority. She often said later, the fire burned everything I thought I needed, but it left me with everything I truly needed. The fire of refinement also protects you from being shaped by shallow things. Without fire, you might have settled for comfort, for approval, for temporary success. The heat stripped those illusions away, leaving you with identity rooted in what cannot be shaken. That is why you have emerged stronger, clearer, and more resilient. Imagine clay in the hands of a potter. While it is still wet, it is fragile and shapeless. But once placed in the kiln, it becomes durable, useful, and permanent. The kiln is hot, uncomfortable, and necessary. That is the purpose of your refining fire. It was never cruelty, but creation. Sometimes the fire revealed your hidden strength. Other times, it revealed your hidden weakness. Both were necessary. For how can a vessel carry great treasure if cracks are left unattended? The fire sealed the cracks, exposing where healing was needed, ensuring that when glory rests upon you, you can sustain it without breaking. your future self, the one glimpsed in visions, could not exist without this refining. The authority you will walk in, the compassion you will extend, the wisdom you will carry, all were born in fire. Without it, your story would lack depth. With it, your story carries weight, credibility, and unshakable faith. So do not despise the heat you have endured. The silversmith never leaves the silver in the furnace longer than necessary. In the same way, God has not abandoned you in your trials. He has been watching, skimming, shaping, and waiting until his reflection appeared in you. Chosen one, the fire has not destroyed you, it has defined you. The flames you feared were never your enemy. They were the sculptor of your destiny. This Monday reveals not only who you are, but also the truth that you have been refined for this very moment. And when you look back at the fires you've walked through, you may finally see them differently. They were not random seasons of pain, but necessary passages that shaped your spirit into something unbreakable. Without them, you would not carry the depth you hold today. Every scar from the fire is now a testimony. Where others see loss, you see resilience. Where others remember ashes, you remember how the flames revealed. Strength you did not know was inside you. These marks are no longer wounds, they are medals of survival. Let this truth settle. The fire was never your end, but your beginning. It did not consume you, it completed you. You stand now not as a victim of trials, but as living proof that refinement leads to radiance, and that radiance is who you truly are. Your voice in this generation matters more than you realize. It is not just sound, it is a ripple that carries weight into unseen realms. For too long, you may have believed your silence was safer, that keeping your thoughts and convictions hidden would protect you from misunderstanding. But now the time has come for your voice to rise. It is not meant to echo faintly, it is meant to resound. Think of a bell tower in a quiet town. When the bell rings, everyone hears it, even those far away. It cuts through noise, through distance, through distraction. That is the image of your voice. It is not background noise. It carries clarity, awakening, and direction. Heaven placed this resonance within you because others need to hear it. The Apostle Paul once wrote in Romans, chapter 10, verse 14, "How can they call on the one not believed? How can they believe without hearing his word? How can they hear without someone preaching?" This is not just about sermons. It is about every chosen one who dares to let their voice be heard. You are part of that divine equation. There is a story of a man who once believed he had nothing worth saying. For years, he kept silent, convinced that no one would listen. But when he finally began sharing his story, his struggles, his victories, his hope, others found themselves in his words. They wept. They rejoiced. They were strengthened. His voice, once silenced, became a lifeline. The same is true of you. And now, let me weave this into the practical. This space, where your heart is stirred, is like a great fire in the night. When you press like, it is as if you place another log on the fire, keeping it alive so that the warmth spreads further. When you share, it is like carrying a torch into another village, letting those who sit in cold darkness feel the glow of hope. When you subscribe, you are like one who returns to the fire again and again, making sure it never dies down, always ready to receive more light. And then there is generosity. A donation is like pouring oil into the lamp. It is never demanded, never forced. But when it is poured freely, the flame grows brighter and lasts longer. Some bring a drop, others a jar. But each act keeps the light shining for travelers still wandering in the night. And when you leave a comment, it is like carving your name into the stones of this journey. Words on a screen may seem small, but they echo like inscriptions on ancient walls, reminding both you and others, I was here. I chose light. I stood as chosen. Your comment becomes a testimony, a marker that this fire touched you. This is not about duty. It is about beauty. Think of how the early believers gathered what they had not, to check boxes or meet quotas, but to create a table of abundance where no one was left hungry. In the same way, your support is not payment. It is participation in a miracle. You are helping prepare a table of encouragement, a table of truth, where those starving for hope can finally eat. Your voice joins with this collective chorus. Together, we create a sound that cannot be silenced, a sound of faith, of endurance, of transformation. Every act of engagement, every word of encouragement, every gift of support adds volume to the sound. And as it rises, it pierces through the noise of despair in this generation. Imagine waves on the ocean. One ripple seems small, but when joined with others, it becomes a current strong enough to shift entire ships. Your voice, your choice, your offering may feel small, but in combination, it becomes a tide of light that moves history forward. And as you lift your voice, remember, it is not only about speaking to others, it is also about declaring to yourself who you are. Every time you choose to express truth, you silence the lies that once held you captive. Every time you let your voice rise, you affirm your identity as chosen. So let your voice be heard. Let it carry across valleys and cities, into hearts and homes. And as you add your flame to this fire, your torch to this procession, your oil to this lamp, I know that you are participating in something eternal. You were never meant to be silent. You were meant to be a sound of hope in the chaos, a sound of truth in the lies, a sound of light in the darkness. This Monday unveils it clearly. Your voice is rising, and nothing can silence it now. Every chosen one eventually receives marching orders of destiny. These are not like human instructions scribbled on paper, but divine directives written into the very fabric of your spirit. You sense them not just in words, but in burdens, convictions, and an inner pull that refuses to let you rest until you obey. This Monday is not just about revelation, it is about assignment. Heaven is handing you strategy. Marching orders often arrive in ways that feel inconvenient. They disrupt plans you thought were secure, push you out of comfort zones you carefully built, and call you into places where faith is your only anchor. Yet these are the very disruptions that mark chosen lives. When God gives orders, He also provides the strength to carry them out. The Book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Declares, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. These words describe the essence of your orders. You may not always understand them, but if you lean into trust, the crooked roads before you will straighten. Consider Moses at the Red Sea. His orders made no sense. Stretch out his staff over an ocean while an army charged from behind. Yet obedience turned impossibility into a pathway. Or think of Joshua, commanded to march around Jericho in silence for 7 days. No strategy in the world would have suggested such a thing, yet obedience caused walls to crumble. The pattern is clear. Chosen ones are not called to understand every detail, they are called to obey. Your life carries such assignments. You may feel an unexplainable urge to speak hope to someone, even when it feels awkward. You may feel a nudge to step into a new field of work or ministry. Though you feel unqualified, you may be prompted to release something you've held tightly for years. These are not accidents, they are marching orders. Each act of obedience is a step in formation with heaven's army. Picture a soldier in a vast battalion, alone. He cannot see the strategy, only his small part of the movement. But when he marches in sync with the command, his steps join with thousands of others to form victory. That is you. You are not acting alone. You are aligning with a larger plan that heaven orchestrates. There is a story of a young woman who kept sensing she was meant to mentor others. She resisted, believing she had too many flaws to guide anyone, but the inner pull never left. Finally, she began with just one person, sharing her story honestly. That single act multiplied. Soon she was leading a group, and eventually a movement. Her marching orders had been clear all along. She only needed to begin. Marching orders often feel heavier than what you think you can handle. That is intentional. They are designed to keep you dependent on God, not your own strength. If the orders felt easy, you would rely on your own wisdom. But when they stretch you beyond comfort, they force you into deeper trust. And in that trust, miracles unfold. Imagine a map rolled up and handed to you. At first, it reveals only the starting point and the first mile. The rest remains hidden until you take the first steps. That is how heaven's strategy works. You are not given the whole picture, only enough light for the step ahead. But as you walk, the path opens further, revealing what you could not see before. The key is this: delay is dangerous. When marching orders are given, hesitation can rob you of timing, like a river swelling after the rains. There are moments when the current of destiny flows strongest. If you wait too long, the waters shift, and the moment passes. That is why obedience is urgent, not frantic, not pressured, but timely. Chosen one. Your orders may look different from another's. Do not compare. One may be called to build, another to heal, another to teach, another to pioneer. Each assignment is unique, but all flow together into heaven's grand design. Trust your orders. They were crafted specifically for you. And as you walk forward, remember this: heaven's strategy is always bigger than your comfort. It will stretch you, but it will never abandon you. The one who gave the orders marches with you. His voice does not send you into battle alone. It goes before you, alongside you, and behind you. So step forward with courage. The orders have been given. The path is unfolding. This Monday is not just about seeing who you are. It is about walking into what you are called to do. There comes a time when unveiling is complete, when the long process of waiting, wrestling, and refining brings you into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. That moment is now. This Monday does not simply mark another day, it is a declaration of identity. You are stepping into your true self, clothed, not in shame or confusion, but in glory, purpose, and promise. Think of a sunrise after a long night. Darkness lingers for hours, convincing you it will last forever. Yet without fail, light pierces the horizon, painting the sky with colors too beautiful to predict. The night cannot stop the morning, and the morning cannot be rushed. It comes exactly when it is meant to. That is the image of your unveiling. The night you endured was real, but the dawn is undeniable. The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." These words capture the essence of this unveiling. You are no longer waiting for permission to shine. Heaven itself commands it. The glory that once seemed distant is now resting on you. Your unveiling is not about perfection, it is about authenticity. You are not called to present a flawless mask, but to embody your true identity. The scars you carry are part of your beauty, the tears part of your strength, the lessons part of your wisdom. To unveil yourself is to live without apology, to walk boldly in the fullness of who God designed you to be. There is a story of a man who lived most of his life in hiding. Fear of rejection kept him from speaking. Shame from the past kept him from stepping forward. But there came a moment when he realized that hiding served no one. Slowly, he began to show his true self, to speak openly, to walk in purpose, to embrace his difference. To his surprise, the very things he once tried to conceal became the very things that inspired others. His unveiling was not only for him, it was for everyone who needed courage to unveil themselves too. Your unveiling will carry the same ripple. When you rise, others will find permission to rise as well. When you stand in your true identity, others will discover their own. That is why your unveiling matters. It is not a private event. It is a public testimony that light is stronger than darkness. Imagine a bride removing her veil, not in secrecy, but before witnesses. The veil falls, and her face is revealed in beauty and truth. This is not about becoming someone new, but about revealing what was hidden. That is the picture of this Monday. You are not creating a new self, you are uncovering the self heaven has always known. The process that brought you here, the battles, the chains, the refining fire was not wasted. Each step was part of the unveiling, like an artist peeling away layers of covering from a masterpiece. God has been removing what was never truly you. Fear was not you. Doubt was not you. Shame was not you. What remains now is the masterpiece itself, chosen, radiant, whole. The unveiling also brings responsibility. Light attracts both those who need it and those who fear it. Some will celebrate your rising, others may resist it, but you cannot dim yourself to keep others comfortable. To unveil is to commit to shining regardless of response. You are not here for approval, you are here for purpose. Think again of the sunrise. No matter who is watching, the sun rises. No matter who complains of the light, it still shines. Your unveiling carries the same certainty. It does not need permission. It is an inevitability of destiny. Chosen one. Let this truth seal in your heart. This is who you are. Not the broken version. Not the silenced version. Not the hidden version. The unveiled you is courageous, radiant, and purposeful. And that unveiling is not temporary, it is eternal. So step forward with confidence. Walk into this Monday knowing it is more than a date, it is a doorway. And as you cross it, you are revealed in glory, carrying light that darkness can never overcome. And as you embrace this unveiling, let gratitude fill your heart. Every valley you walked through, every fire you endured, every night you thought would never end, all of it led you here. Nothing was wasted, everything was preparation. Now the world will see what heaven has always known. You are chosen, you are radiant, and you are ready. The unveiling is complete, and your true self is here to stay. And so we come to the close of this journey. 17 steps, 17 windows, all leading to this moment of unveiling. You have walked through battles, burdens, fires, and breakthroughs. You have seen yourself differently, stronger, brighter, freer. This is not the end of your story. It is the unfolding of a greater chapter. And here, I want to speak gently but clearly. What you do with this moment matters. When you press like, it is not just a click. It is like leaving a flame burning on an altar, saying, I honor what has touched my spirit. When you share, it is as if you carry a lantern into another street, where someone still wanders in darkness, longing for direction. When you subscribe, you are not signing up for content. You are choosing to sit at the fire again, to let the warmth continue to shape you, week after week. And if your heart feels stirred toward generosity, let it be simple, pure, and voluntary. A donation is like planting a seed in fertile soil. You may not see the fruit immediately, but over time, that seed grows into a tree where countless weary souls can find shade. It is also like pouring oil into a lamp, making sure the flame never dies, or placing one more brick on a bridge that future generations will walk across. No one is compelled. No one is pressured. It is an act of love, and love always multiplies. And when you leave a comment, it is like inscribing your name into the stones of this journey. Words may fade on a screen, but they echo as reminders that you stood here, you listened, you aligned, you chose to rise. So as we close, carry this with you. Your journey matters, your light matters, and together, with every act of response, we keep this fire alive, not just for ourselves, but for generations still to come.